familiar to me for some reason, I don't know why.
Down at the Cascades.
Oh.
I mean, that was my first thought. I'm like, who lives by the Cascades? And I saw those rocks down at the bottom. I'm like, nope, that ain't it.
It's the Mike Levine Trail.
I'm sorry?
It's the Mike Levine Trail.
Oh.
At the trailhead on Hawkins Road.
Nice.
The assignment was around the block, somewhere close to home, or something around your home you want to show other people.
Grace, I love
That's
that.
fine.
They got a new paint
Is
job.
that on Lansing?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I drove by there on the way here.
They have great burgers. I love
They
nice
do.
juicy bar burgers.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a few years.
Yeah, it's been probably 10 years since I've been
Is this?
Reasonably
local?
fine.
in there. Yeah, it's on
Yeah,
Lansing Avenue.
it's basically north of downtown.
Yeah, it's just north of North Street,
Kind of an
Yeah.
interesting angle.
at that,
Yeah.
just north of that Y there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I took a picture of that because I built that.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
Wow.
sweet, nice.
It's just something different, other than taking pictures of stuff.
Mhm.
I was done with my phone.
Yeah, another interesting angle.
Brr.
I like
Yeah, that's right out the front window about a month ago.
Nice composition.
You can tell we live in the country, right?
I don't know, all those city buildings, you know?
And there's a telephone pole if you look carefully. We're a bit citified that way.
Ooh, nice.
I overlooked some wetlands, so I zoomed in one winter.
Is that snow coming down?
Yeah,
Nice.
well,
And I gotta admit, the
It's got
snow
some
coming
fake snow.
down.
Okay, all right.
What was it?
the snow is fake.
Oh.
I was
I
wondering.
couldn't quite capture it.
Definitely adds impact to the
Uh-huh.
that picture.
Yeah.
You have to label it if it's AI.
No, actually, it was a brush. That's a good idea. That could have been it. Yeah, I done it too.
Uh-huh.
Waiting for spring, huh?
Yeah, you should have made a snowman and put it on the bench.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
I didn't say it had to be big or life-sized.
To me, that tells a story because you can see sitting on the bench, looking at the cold weather, waiting for the birds to come in and
Wait for spring to get here first.
yeah, yeah.
How many times did you scope out that bench?
Pardon? Oh, George, you know how I shoot. I looked out the window.
This
and-
is out your kitchen window.
Yeah, not the kitchen window, but yes,
Okay,
basically.
okay.
And that is real snow.
You can tell, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's lots of real snow.
Too much. I like the cool angles.
Nice.
Oh, that looks warm.
Yeah.
I like the idea
Yeah,
of like the
trampoline.
arm going out, you know, it gives it that long look.
They're playing tag, so.
Yeah. You happen to capture the dynamic moment.
Mhm.
I mean, you got your daughter midair on the left.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell the lad in the foreground's about to go bouncing up. Yeah,
And
good.
the girl on the right, her hair's up, so you know she's bouncing.
And notice the framing of the leg on the left.
Mm-hmm. And the framing on the right,
Yep,
green and blue.
very nice.
Hmm.
And a nice sky.
Yep. You didn't honestly expect them to be on the trampoline in the winter, did you, Joe?
Never know.
Yeah, they may protect you, Canadians or something.
Oh, look at that.
This is
Is
last
it
spring.
Is there one in the back?
There's
Yep.
3 on the back.
3 in the back.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the very last one is just getting ready to slide off.
Oh.
It's,
Oh, he's peeking down.
Yeah.
actually, I don't know if I see 3 or 4 in the back.
It's a nice contract with white glue.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, there's 3.
Mhm.
Okay, here's 3.
The reflections neat too, how it's dark.
Where was this taken?
That's on Center Lake.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see
What,
baby
what
geese, you know,
size
with
one?
my
That's
scope on,
the,
but I've never gotten close like that.
But they were right near the edge.
Pretty
Ah.
close.
Yeah.
I've never seen them
Pretty
on the
cool.
back like that.
Oh, yeah, the swans,
That's
yeah.
how they do it? Nothing beats being close, right?
Right.
Yeah, we have them on Ferguson Lake, but we have a lot of turtles. And I've only seen one make it to maturity.
Yeah, the group definitely gets smaller as the
It's
summer goes
sad.
on.
Yeah, one interesting thing about, waterfowl, the 2 most common ducks you have around here are the mallard and the wood duck. Mama mallard, horrible parent. She doesn't keep track of her kids. Mama wood duck, very attentive parent. She's always keeping track of her kids. And the ironic thing is they will both lay 14 eggs, and out of the 14 eggs they each lay, the number that hatch that make it to fly south in the winter, 2.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't they do that with the Canadian geese? Oh
there's
my gosh.
a problem there. That is, mom and dad are very big, very protective, and very ferocious.
Oh, tell me about it.
It seems like the baby geese do better though than the swans.
Yeah, they do grow a little quicker.
Yeah, it must be what it is, cause they don't last.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
the,
true.
yeah,
I never-
the interesting thing about wood ducks, and they did a study to determine this, as soon as the eggs hatch, mama wood duck flies down to the ground. She says, "Come on, kids, come on." And yeah, they make that leap of faith from 30, 40 feet up in the air without any wing feathers, just plop on the ground,
Oh my gosh.
and then she leads them to water. And it turns out, they did a study, don't ask me how, they determined that, yeah, if the kids don't make the leap of faith, they don't do as well.
Huh.
Mm.
Wow.
That one's mine, waiting for the snowbirds to come back.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow, you've got.
It's a good invitation.
Welcome now.
I wouldn't want to buy your bird feed.
Yeah.
The
It's
squirrel
not my choice. Yeah, the squirrels. You can see all the baffles that are
And
down
the
right now, but it's been
cranes.
a years-long battle.
the
Yeah.
cranes come and eat mine too. They-
Yeah. Deer in my case.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
pretty.
That one was mine, and I'm glad he sat up there long enough for me to take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
I never see the male cardinals that they're always like branches all around them or.
Yeah.
and even got the.
The only
catch
thing
up.
I would consider doing to possibly improve that is crop it for vertical.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, you don't need all the background, but because it's so pretty,
Good photo.
you can even see the catchlight in the
Yeah.
eye on a little bird.
Oh,
Waffly wabbit.
I love that.
What's up, Doc?
That's nice.
What's yours?
No, it's nobody's on.
I, that's my Easter card, and
Oh,
I got
nice.
sick in, let's see, middle of February, and it took me so long to start feeling better that I took hardly any pictures, except inside.
That's okay. That's okay.
Very clean.
Good example.
Yeah. Good work.
Like the-
I like how the rabbit is peeking out from behind the eggs like peekaboo.
Yeah,
Cranes need to be cropped so much.
and it's balanced by the
Yeah,
pink flowers on the right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good exposure, good composition.
Even got catchlight in the fake eyeballs.
And notice the pink and blue flowers on the rabbit's ear that kind of,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
didn't
the other-
that is a well thought out composition. Nicely done, Sonia. Very
And
nice.
The rabbit did come from Michael's, but not the rest.
It's okay, it's all good.
Oh,
Nice.
the lighting's cool.
Now that is a bluebird, right?
Yep.
I believe it's a female. You'll see the male in just a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks so soft, but look at all the detail.
Yeah.
I was taken out of my bedroom window this morning. I was trying to get all the stuff done that's local. And that's a blind that I haven't used yet, but that I'm working on. It's a chair that has a canopy over the top and just covered up with camo, and get ready for a long sit down.
Hmm.
In nice shape.
Bird watching tent.
Bird watching.
Huh. Now, did you make the
Frame.
frame?
No, that's the chair that has a canopy.
Okay.
And that's kind of the secret of the whole thing, is that you just take and drape camo material all over it, and that makes your silhouette as a human disappear.
Huh. Hmm. Well, that'd be a good idea.
Well, it's not original on my part. In Europe, they do that all the time.
Yeah.
Huh.
Only they have actually built ones over there that are pretty fancy.
Yeah.
Get a cup of coffee in or whatever you want.
Yeah.
Refrigerator
I wonder if I could sit down and watch the deer walk by with that.
Probably.
That's held together with zip ties, wherever you want to make it not
Yeah.
flopping around, tie it down with a little zip tie.
But that looks like a log or something.
No, it's just to fold a shadow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's early morning.
Ooh, from up high.
Nice.
Does that look
Looks
familiar?
like where we're at. Yeah.
You are here.
Oh, that's around the block.
Is that yours, George?
Yeah.
Nice. Where'd you take the shot from? County Tower building?
Yeah.
How'd you get up there?
Elevator, mid stairs.
Yeah, but I mean, how'd you get permission to get up there?
Oh. Next question.
An open door policy.
Just
right?
ask if you're supposed to be there.
Permission? What is this
George,
permission?
I am pointing you to do our next walk and show us how you did this, and we'll all take some too.
All right. Bring chocolates.
Okay.
Oh, that's not the building that has the peregrine on it, is it?
Yeah,
It is?
yep, that's where the peregrines nest. Yeah, they're nesting right now, I do believe.
Oh. Don't they usually show them on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to check that.
Yeah.
If anyone sees them on Facebook or at wherever, put them on our club's Facebook page. The rail- yeah.
Isn't that like a rail yard over there?
Well, actually, the curving track that you see going off towards the top of the photo, that's the rail line that goes up to Lansing. The main line that goes to Battle Creek is the stuff that's going off to the left and exiting stage left, so to speak.
Well,
At the top of the photo, in the white, it's like bumpy, you're like, what is that?
this right here?
Yeah,
It's on the other side too.
too.
yeah.
It's an incoming tornado.
Do you have a filter on your lens or anything?
Yeah, no, that was like.
Well, it's
a
over
vignette.
here too.
Yeah, that's why it's
They end up
Camera
looking
out
like
the
that.
window.
Yeah,
So you did a vignette on that, George?
yeah. I
Okay.
tried to.
Yeah, I like it because it kind of brings me
Pulls it in
into the
together.
center.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we ready? Any more? I don't know about you, but I have fun with this one. Nature.
Nice.
Is that robins or blue jays?
Blue birds, I think.
They are in are they in a house, like a?
Bluebird box, probably.
Huh.
So does somebody have a webcam set up, or do they have a viewing port?
Actually, that early in their life, you know,
Open the door.
yeah, you basically take it off and you can probably shoot down in there. You only wanna be careful if you're gonna be checking nest boxes, because I think bluebirds are on from the day they hatch to the day they leave, I wanna say it's 3 weeks. And if you check the box during the last 3 or 4 days, the young may leave early, so you don't wanna do that. But at that stage, they're probably, I'm guessing, and I freely admit this is a guess, I'd say they're probably about a week old, cause they're starting to get their feathers. You know, you could open the box, you know, quickly take a shot or two like that, and then put it back and, you know, no harm, no foul.
Well, actually, we rescued these.
Oh,
We were
wow.
taking them to a place for them.
Oh, so that's a cardboard box
Yeah,
they're in,
yeah.
okay,
Oh, wow.
okay.
Yeah, the tree,
You know what, now that I think about it, I think those are robins, actually, looking at the nest. That, you know, I think those are robins, now that I think about it.
Where'd you take them to?
Is there any chance they're blue
I don't
jays?
even remember, it was a long time ago.
Possible, but the nest looks more like a robin nest now that I look at it. I could be
Well,
wrong,
that's,
and I
that's a
probably
cool
am.
picture, Tal.
Yeah, that is nice.
It was fun.
3 beaks and a sleeping beauty.
Well, yeah.
Ooh, nice.
How much?
I like that.
Yeah, it's a Dead Horse Point State Park in Utah.
Is there like a river down there on the right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I've seen a lot in there.
I'm trying to remember. It's either the Green or the Colorado. I can't remember which.
How did you get to go there and see the nice sky with it? I go on vacations, everything's either gray or blown out.
Mm-hmm.
Cloudy is everything.
Yeah, it was very cloudy, but.
Actually, the clouds, to me, make the photo better.
Yes, they do, that's
Be-
why I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you got that tension of the weather moving in, and yet at the same time, they keep the landscape from being blown out, you know, so you can see the detail in the trees in the foreground. And yeah, your exposure on the sky is excellent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was just I had to struggle with the exposure because I was starting off way too dark, brighten it up, and then you run where the sun does come through.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to blow that out.
Oh yeah,
And
very delicate
so I
balance.
just made up for it with volume. A lot of pictures at a lot of different exposures, so I
That's okay.
could have something good.
That's okay.
I love puffins.
No puffin.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love puffins.
Somebody said they can fly 55 miles an hour.
That sounds about right.
They
Wow.
are fun.
You look like a potato out there flying.
We do like little potatoes.
It's
Where
an
are they?
island out in, the Atlantic Ocean off coast of Maine in New Brunswick.
Still can't.
Is that on the left border, is that a shadow?
I think it's more rocks.
Hmm.
Yeah, cause they're typically cliff dwellers, right?
Yeah, it's just a big field of all these boulders all over that they nest under. They put you in a little blind that you sit there with windows on all sides that you just poke your camera out and take them. It's just 5 feet away from you.
Oh, wow.
Is that a guided tour thing?
Yeah.
That's really
Oh, that's nice.
Is that a grebe?
Pied-billed grebe,
Yeah.
sometimes called a hell diver, because they can, 1 second they're here, and next second they're gone. They can crash dive faster than a submarine.
Yeah, cut out a little.
Nice shot, whoever took it.
I did, thank you.
You're welcome.
I like the circle of the water around the front
Yeah.
of it.
Mm-hmm.
The water drops on the
Yeah.
back. Where was that?
Florida. Just trying to think of what part of Florida it was. That was at Dispatch of Florida's.
I'm glad Phil brings
Yeah.
it wrong.
Yeah.
On
Cocoa
the
Beach area?
spaceport, Cocoa Beach.
Space- Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Mm.
This was 2 weeks ago, in Marquette,
Oh, wow.
and the rocks are all covered in ice.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Little cool, huh?
You know, the next day it warmed up to about 50.
Oh,
All that ice melted.
really? Huh.
Yes, and then they got hammered.
Yeah.
I got out of there just before the storm came in.
Good timing,
Yeah.
good timing.
Yeah, 'cause you still might be there.
I gotta, by the water,
Mhm.
is that white ice itself, or is that the water
What?
spraying up?
That is the water spraying up, but the white on the rocks is.
At the very bottom, that's
Yeah.
ice.
You can see all that ice,
Yeah.
yes. So the water is still spraying up, there's icicles, you know, hanging down on the left.
Yeah, I love those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really nice.
Nice photo. Big Blue saying, "Why did I bother staying this far north? I could be in Florida right now."
Well, I was in Florida when it snowed.
Oh my God. Okay, I should have gone to Cuba, doggone it.
Does look angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks.
I'm sorry, I've never seen a great blue heron that didn't look angry.
Oh, I love that foot.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like it's too cool to put down.
Doesn't wanna get them both
Oh.
cold.
4 and 20 blackbirds. Actually, those are starlings, I think.
I think they are starlings. I didn't take this picture for the beauty or whatever, but last meeting, I was talking to someone about all these birds flying in, there wasn't very many. Well, they suddenly appeared. Now, not as many in the trees that I saw, but then again, who knows? When I first moved into our condo, the trees would be filled, but I mean, all the tops of a bunch of trees, just like filled with them, and it's noisy. And then in the wetlands, there was a couple in the wetlands, and it's just,
That's a really neat picture of them.
so I just zoomed in, I got my real camera out for this one and zoomed in.
Ah,
It's a nice rookery. That's Kensington.
Who took that?
That's cool, the birds flying.
It might be mine, but then again, a lot of people were out there, so.
It wasn't mine.
Okay, I think it's mine then. I
There's
do
the
actually
file
remember
name
that
up
one.
there.
Oh, yeah, that's me. Good spotting.
I love it, I can see the dust.
Yeah, I couldn't get out that day. I was miserable, but
You really didn't miss much. It was a bitterly cold morning, and the light wasn't the greatest.
it was much better. It was just a few days after
Yeah.
that I dragged that out with me and said, we're going to Kensington.
There you go.
It's nice and fun, too.
Yeah.
Take
I like
many
how the-
pictures of it.
Crack in the sky.
Yeah, actually, the sky seemed to be bluer, but then the clouds all came in again.
What kind of bird is
Yeah.
that?
Great blue heron.
Yeah, that's the.
Same guy you saw standing in the snow. Well, same species, not the exact same bird.
No, that's not heron nests in their trees.
Oh, yes.
That close together?
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I get two
There's-
pairs of cranes in my yard and they're fighting.
Top,
Yeah.
Blow,
Yeah.
blow it up.
Yeah,
there's a,
Isn't that
there's
right, were they
there's a
dancing?
ton of cranes that you
Where,
don't
right
see
here?
any
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, I could. Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
herons,
So there's one
great
at the
blue
very
herons,
top,
great
one on the
egrets, they
left.
nest in rookeries and they'll
Yeah.
nest really close like that.
They're all over the place.
Even the swans in the lake were fighting the
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just see this.
Yeah,
is
sand,
wow.
Thanks, Tom.
by the way, bird nerd trivia fact, seeing as you mentioned sandhill cranes not tolerating others, throughout most of North America, the nesting density for sandhill cranes is 1 pair per square mile.
Ooh.
The exception, Waterloo Township, 7 pairs per square mile.
Wow.
Must be something in the water.
We have 4 pairs that land inside of Cooper, because I work at Cooper Street Correctional Facility, and we have up to 4 pairs that come into the prison and land in the yard every, at late afternoon.
Repeat offenders, are they?
Yeah. Coming back.
Yeah, because even at the end of the summer, I don't know, cranes will try to come into where our cranes are, and it's like big fight out there,
Oh, yeah.
Jump up in their wings and chasing each other.
Well, isn't that their mating dance?
That's what I thought.
Oh,
That's what they'd be
That's what they
doing about now, but in the fall, it's more of just a territorial display.
yeah.
We'll get 150 cranes, 50 swans, and 100 geese, all at the same time
Crazy.
on, it's a mess.
I will tell you, if you want to see a large concentration of waterfowl, late October, you go down to Watkins Lake State Park, which is east and a little north of Brooklyn. There have been times where I stood in one spot, counted 1,000 ringneck ducks, 1,000 canvasbacks, 1,000 redheads, 1,500 hooded mergansers, and God knows how many Canada geese. Just stand in one spot and count them.
Did you get close to
Here.
Not usually. It's a big lake. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
half a mile, 3/4 of a mile wide. They're like,
them? Long ways.
no, you're not getting my photo, pal.
There's a nest of eagles there also, at Watkins.
They're nesting there?
Mhm.
Interesting, okay.
Somebody had said not long ago that there is a nesting pair of bald eagles in every county of Michigan now. Has anybody heard that?
It wouldn't surprise
I
me.
heard that, yeah. I did
It would
hear
not surprise me.
It's
Bald eagles in
surprising.
Michigan have made a remarkable comeback.
I can remember when there was just a couple of them in the UP and that was it.
Yep.
Yeah, there's an eagle that's.
There must be a nesting couple near us, because we've got a juvenile that's that likes to stop. at
Yeah, I
the
know of
tree right
another
at the
pair,
door.
they're along
I haven't
the
gotten a good picture yet, though.
Portage River in the northern part of the county. But the guy who knows where there is, he's like, I'm not telling anybody. He's showing me photos and I'm like, okay, that's good. I don't mind him keeping a secret because I don't want people harassing the nests. Because you tell one person and, before you know it,
We'll go back down to.
all hell breaks loose.
And go out to the place at Dale Post too.
Did we talk about this one?
I guess my one question on this photo is, what exactly is the subject?
That's what I was gonna ask, thank you.
Not getting out more than twice in the winter.
Well, you could have just simply photographed the snow on your front lawn if you were going to do that.
I like the
sky.
bittersweet, the little vine.
I like
The
the
berries.
sky in the picture.
Abstract lines.
I do like abstract.
There you go.
Thanks for helping with someone who's.
Now, is this a good swan or a bad, scary swan or a friendly swan?
Well,
Mute swans are pretty aggressive.
It's on the Kingfisher contact.
Ah,
Water
okay.
drop on its
Jim and
beak
Linda.
Yes.
underneath.
Good spotting. I can't tell if it is or if it's something in the water.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, water droplet coming from its beak.
Nice reflection of the bird.
Yeah, nice photo.
I love the reflections.
Mm-hmm.
I like the reeds are placed really nice.
Yeah, you get a sense of depth.
Frame.
Mm-hmm.
You get framing there. Mm.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset at our house, I was in my front yard, backyard.
Hmm.
and took that.
Sonia, is
You
there
got
any
more in
reason
the
why you
backyard.
couldn't get more of the reflection at the bottom?
Yes, there's a breakwater there.
Aha! I knew there was a reason. Yank, yank, yank.
Whiten and hatch.
Yank, yank, yank.
Those are cute birds.
It's a nice picture, but the eye doesn't look quite as sharp. It looks a little.
Just a little bit out of focus.
Well, that was handheld looking out a window.
Gotcha.
Cold.
Yeah,
What kind of take? Handheld looking up?
I like the angled bird, like he's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat. Anybody watching, you know?
yeah.
Mine.
They're so fast in and out of there.
Mhm.
Yes.
You
Yes.
gotta be watching.
You know, that would be nice vertical as well, and
Yeah.
cut out the pole on the right.
Mhm.
Yep, agreed.
Ooh, I like that. That is really
That's
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
Water
It's like
underneath
a
leaves,
mirror.
is that true?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a picture done like that.
That is cool. It is just different.
Yeah.
Nice. Some ice around that.
You've actually gotta focus on the reflection, don't you?
Yeah.
That is really interesting. Oh. It's like abstract and then it's not.
Yeah.
It's
Cool, different.
huh. No, you got me wanting to go out and find something different. Very
That
good.
is it for this one.
Okay, photographer's choice.
Mhm.
Soon.
Yep.
He's coming.
3, a good number.
Love the cloud.
That cloud up the big one,
Opposite.
looks like it could be some steam coming off.
Yeah.
Is that yours, Phil?
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Teary lighting. Very good, excellent.
Nice angle.
Yeah.
What's that? Looks like it's. oh,
They have like, I've seen little flags on the side.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh.
Yeah. Years ago, before COVID, met someone at the park to take pictures of the balloon launch, and this person always manually focused. They learned on this day not to manually focus, because there was too much going on to try to get all the shots.
Well, you know, they're so big. I have a hard time keeping it all in focus, getting
Yeah.
the right
Yeah.
aperture and everything else.
Mm.
Ah.
That's Bon Fo's, isn't it?
No, that's mine, but I don't remember where we were.
Is that Phil down in the corner?
Yes.
I
I
love
think it
that
was in
shot.
New York.
I think that might have been New York too.
I feel like on the lower left, I could just walk up the steps and just walk into the flowing water.
And get swept downstream.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
And Phil adds a lot of interest.
Yeah.
Gives you a size of how
Yes.
big that thing is.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're so even.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta yell at Phil, don't move.
Yeah.
It's a long exposure.
Yeah, adding fill in the bottom gives you a sense of scale, of distance and height.
Mm-hmm. It shows you how big they are, that they're not just 2 feet high.
Yeah.
Did he have to get wet getting there?
Probably not.
No?
No, he crawls all over the place to get his pictures.
Was your picture filled from that spot?
Oh, I don't remember.
Probably in the dozens in there somewhere.
I just love the
Thank you.
the speed, the way it's soft
Yeah,
and
it's
misty, and then it's
perfect, I can't.
a little sharper, but
That one was definitely on a tripod. I always shoot freehand, but that one was definitely a tripod.
That's pretty.
Springtime.
It's my birthday flowers and pink was really hard to get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I just got a macro lens and was playing around with it. So it's not great, but it's a start.
Like that little flower in the corner?
mhm.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Looks like a flower, has a flower on it.
The petal is actually bent over.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other one.
Now that's-
Okay.
That's definitely a male.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Tina's here.
That's nice.
Now, what would a female be different? She'd be gray?
The blue wouldn't be as vivid,
And the red, I think, is.
a little
less
bit
vivid.
faded too.
Okay.
A little bit, not as vivid, yeah.
Nice.
I was a little surprised to even sue it because they're normally insectivores.
Well, this time of year,
And they don't have any choices. I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. and the fat and the suet will definitely give them the fat and the protein they need.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yucca pearl. My yucca plant's going crazy.
That's it.
Oh, I mean, the aloe plant that's a yucca that I'm making my yellow.
I love all the little spiny projections.
Is that Hidden Lake?
Do you know where it was taken at?
Oh, that's a good picture.
Ooh, red
That was
feet.
in the, garden, the Tipton Lake,
In like gardens.
Hidden Lake,
Okay.
in the. one-
Arid dome?
Arid, yeah, like cactus.
Oh,
Yeah.
kinda cactus.
Yeah.
I think that would be really interesting in black and white.
I thought so too, but I couldn't decide, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're for sale.
Cool.
Wow.
That's amazing.
How'd you get so close?
600mm lens.
And go where they're somewhat used to people, I would think.
That was Haines, Alaska. It's it's
yeah.
a bald eagle preserve, so there's hundreds of them there. And yeah, they don't even care that we're there.
You've seen the picture of that guy on the boat, that fishing boat, and he is absolutely surrounded by eagles.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, when I was there, I had one land from me to her.
Wow.
I didn't even know it was there. I was shooting that direction. Somebody said, "Hey, look to your right," and one there,
Yeah.
they're just looking at me.
Yeah.
Now, was that handheld?
Yes.
I can barely handle the 400, let alone 600.
Some of them are tripod, some of them are handheld.
Okay.
It just depends on where I was at, what I was doing.
That's fabulous.
Oh, you got a hole.
Boy, that yellow eye.
I was probably shooting around 1250. Yeah, so it doesn't take long, and I'm also shooting continuous, so I can rattle off.
Which one you
I can
want.
rattle off 10 or 15 pictures in a few seconds.
Were you like down on the ground?
No, don't do that too much. That's-
It's the getting up that's hard, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's, also, there was a lot of fish carcasses everywhere, and, so, and bird poo. So you-
Such a wonderful,
Yeah.
melodious combination, yes.
You're just sweetening the deal.
I mean, yeah, you could kneel and stuff in some places, and there were some people who brought the little camp chairs to get closer to the ground, but I only saw one guy who brought like a little blanket and would actually get down on the ground, because it's also covered in snow and ice, so it gets freaking cold.
Notice how white its head is, it doesn't have any,
Yeah, that's a fully mature.
Yeah,
That's-
exactly,
That's
yeah.
at least 5 years old.
Yeah, that's pretty robust.
So pretty.
Is that all snow or?
That's on the bank of a river, so that's ice and snow mixed, but all around there is snow. It's November when I was there.
Aww.
That's a really good one.
Cardinals are just so much fun to shoot.
And that looks like they were pretty close unless they had a really big zoom lens.
Big zoom lens.
Were you on the ground,
No,
on a blanket?
no.
It looks like you got
I was
that.
up sitting on, I was sitting on a porch, actually,
Huh.
huh,
and I was able, I guess it, you know, kind of slanted up a little bit, but yeah.
That was cool.
Oh, he looks like he wants to say something,
Yeah.
So big
Yeah.
open.
Yeah, you know what you know what he's getting ready to say? He's getting ready to say, "What you looking at, Willis?"
Get ready, bang on your windows.
I was working midnights and he was coming up to the window and tapping on the window unceasingly.
Oh,
Made me not appreciate cardinals.
I've had one, the one that my wife took in the dream, that's been banging on my windows
Yeah.
for
At least
almost 3 years.
Oh, jeez.
It goes on the back, on the very back, it goes to the side in our sunroom, and then it goes up to my office on the second story.
Well,
All day long,
All day.
It
all
could-
winter long.
Relentless.
It could be
Yeah, my
worse.
house.
It could be worse. I did a bird watching trip up near Sault Ste. Marie many years ago in February, and we went by this one house that was. They said, yeah, you go to this one house and you will see evening grosbeaks, which are, you know, a relative of the cardinal. And we went to the house and we looked and I'm like, oh my God, I feel sorry for these people. They have a woodpecker problem.
Uh-oh.
They had cedar siding on the side, and it looked like Swiss cheese.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Nice shot though, Tal. Really nice.
Beautiful.
There's the little guy.
Cute, I like that.
That's cute.
That was my St. Patrick's Day card, but I didn't send it out because I suddenly realized I'd spelled leprechaun wrong.
They'll forgive you.
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't have known.
Well, it's fixed now, that's correct.
There you
Ready
go.
for next year.
Nice. Very nicely done.
Oh, that's fun.
There you go.
I love the color
Yep.
Very colorful.
and the motion.
Yep. The curve.
Mm-hmm. The happy faces.
Oh, and even the parent in there.
Yeah. In fact, I almost didn't see him. There's
What's that?
the parent on the left, it's like he's like framing.
Yeah. Mm.
Pretty.
So this is, same flower, but one picture is with the Nikon camera and a macro lens, and the other is with my cell phone.
Really?
Yes.
Which one's which?
Yeah, that's the question. What is your guess?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Nikon is on the bottom.
The Nikon is on the top.
Wow.
The iPhone is the bottom.
Interesting.
Wow.
They
More soft.
got,
And
Oh,
there's
deeper.
there's no, it's straight out of the camera for both of them, so there's no editing.
it is absolutely amazing the options that are on the cell phones now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing with the iPhone is that it has great depth of field. So you are not gonna get softness if you want that in a macro photo. I think with the top photo, it's at f8, and the bottom one has better depth of, or not
Yeah.
better, but more depth of
More
field
depth of
than
field,
that.
yeah.
So you wouldn't be able really to create the softness with just taking the picture,
Interesting.
but the color is,
Do you know, so this was your camera was, or your phone was in macro mode?
yes,
Do you know if it does auto stacking, like multiple frames with focus stacking? 'Cause some of them do.
I don't know.
Hmm.
That one's not, but, yeah.
I'm trying to understand how it got that full depth and all in focus, because macro is really hard to do that.
Well, keep in mind that, so what was the focal length of your macro lens, if I may ask?
60.
Okay. Chances are the quotes unquote lens on the phone was a lot smaller than that. It might have been, I'm guessing, say 8 to 10 millimeters. And the shorter the focal length of the lens you have, the more depth of field you get.
Well, these newer cameras have like, what, 3, 4 lenses on the back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if it composites those,
Yeah.
that will help with this too.
Yeah.
How do you know which one it's using?
Well, no, it's, a lot of it's built into the camera. You don't, unless you physically go in there and manually set up different settings, it'll do it for you. It's in macro mode. I don't know that camera, so I'm not gonna guess, but, I mean, they have the ones that have 4, I think I've even seen some with 5 or 6 lenses on the back. They'll use all of them if they can.
Well, wouldn't you have like a problem of parallax or
It'll usually correct for that in software
Because it's in
automatically.
because it's all contained into one unit, they know what that is for all the characteristics of all those lenses, and they can write the algorithms to.
Yeah, and they do, yeah.
Okay, so then I don't know if it's.
And I'm not, I'm just like, that's the only thing that makes sense in my
Yeah,
mind, to
yeah.
be able to get that much crispness all the way through the.
Yeah,
Oh,
is
Yeah.
that it automatically did that, yeah, that's
It's interesting
possible.
too, that there's a color variation there too, where
Yeah.
the petals are a little bit darker in the bottom one.